like I said, we were here before the Trump administration, so I think that gives some power of pardon. So I just pardoned myself, and for whatever bullshit crime they think I committed in for the orders, they can exist, but they don't mean anything. I'll go where I like, and also, I pardoned myself, so I don't need to go to trial. And if you want to really follow up with me, you can, but please this time bring a legitimate charge, and any orders should also be legitimate and not based on lies and false testimony about videos that I know for a fact could not even exist, because I know where I've been, and I'm terrified to go there. I'm terrified to go to jail, and will not risk it. So again, they don't mean anything to me, and you have no power over me. And I just want to be clear about that. And again, just if you really do have a problem and an issue with me, you are more than welcome. Or things that I've said, or or you can put it behind you and realize that it shouldn't matter. Like she said in the video, it shouldn't matter what I say about you. My opinion is about you, especially if you dislike me as much as you must to take things this far and in such a regrettable and ridiculous way, over something that could easily just be forgotten. So again, I thought that you had to back up what your claims are, your charges are, even just for orders and things like that. And I don't know. I'm just like, I know the truth. I know that I haven't been near them. I know that even prior to any of that, which all of that happened after court, so even prior to any of that, it had been weeks since I had even, I sent that last, goodbye, in order for something to be harassment, it has to be continual, and it has to be ongoing, and, and I don't think that anything that I said would qualify as harassment, especially given the level of things that I take into account with everything that I write and say. So I'm over it. I don't see why anyone wouldn't want to tell me the truth, and I've asked a million times. I feel like everyone knows something about me or about something that they are unwilling to tell me, and I'm over it. If you don't want me to be part of it, then okay. You can also say that. And I'll quit guessing. I'll just leave things as they are. But I just really want to understand people's reasoning for things, for so many different actions and words, or and I guess I've had a lot of time to dwell on it, especially when you're on your own. You're like, well, that wasn't deserved, or maybe I can see it from her point of view, but if they're that quick to write you off as a friend, then that's really extreme. So they must be really pissed off, and I can't understand that, at least not given or knowing that, at least not being told, give another reason, plausible reason as to why you might be upset about something that clearly just didn't, take into consideration, as I have yet to see it as a plausible reason until it's brought to my attention. So again, like, you want to speak and explain why something bothered you, and more than, well, all ears. I'm the person that you want to say that to, and if not, then you can also say that so that there's no miscommunication, because I'm literally going off air signals, basically. Like that, I'm just so shocked by everyone's like quickness to jump to such irrational conclusions about someone's character. I was never given a chance with him, ever. It just wrote me off. Like the second something sounded like you didn't understand something, and there was more than I didn't even understand it. So fuck, But it's just like, again, if I truly did something wrong, then I welcome the first person that has committed no sin and has done nothing to offend and hurt or disagree, show alternate point of view, way of talking about sexuality, about expressing themselves, about anything that someone else deemed not appropriate, as we all have different levels. So, any of you that have not done that, any of you that has not hurt someone else, and I can off the bat say that, you're already screwed, because you've hurt me a lot, and I don't understand it. I don't think it's warranted or deserved. And I truly don't understand it. Like, I don't understand the dynamics. I don't know what you're doing. I don't understand, because I've never actually heard you voice anything. Don't remember what their voices sound like, So it's just that extreme of having that little information of how to gauge what to say, what not to say, and what would or wouldnbe considered offensive. We're all sort of just kind of throwing bones and just seeing if anything catches, and I just think that it's crazy dramatic, and it is like mean girl kind of conversation that these people are weighing in on. It's like, don't you have anything better to do, like an actual crime to solve, or an actual decision to make that requires all of your discernment clearly, because you have so little? Speaking to the judge. Don't waste your time on matters that have already pretty much been resolved. Like, I don't go near them. They still have something to do with me, and I don't know. And it could easily just be cleared up, and all misunderstandings, or confusion, let go of. Hurt's healed, seeing the person as another person that makes mistakes. Like, never said I was perfect. I don't know who is so quick to judge someone. Everything, always looks bad for me. The optics always look bad, but it's just never really the truth. And I've been by everyone that, since I've been back here, how quick people are to just write you off, and I'm like, I don't know. Whatever. I just think that it's silly now at this point. At what other conclusion can you come to? That it was just obscene, and that I deserve to go to jail for having an obscene thought? What obscene thoughts have you had? Or spoken words, offensive words, or because I've already been completely offended by the way that the judge treated me. I hadn't said a word. I had a nice demeanor. I walked up quietly. I listened I didn't, speak out of turn. I didn't even open my mouth. I didn't even get a chance to say my side of the story or to defend any of the things that they were reading, which have over 50 layers, and especially with overlapping times and cycles and things of events that, that are represented by the same video. There's overlaps, there's 1,001 layers of communication and whatnot, and they snickered at it as I sat there and listened to them make fun of what I had worked for 2 years at least on, with you guys, not including my own investigations that started back in 2013, 14, and just being put through hell in the most fluke circumstances of situations that are almost defensible, but in fact are the truth. And I'm so sick of having to defend myself against these things that are so obviously wrong. I mean, from things that Giselle, great, I'm glad I got to break my silence so I can express and talk about the things that I've been through and my experiences and explain myself a bit and help others through what I learned. And I'm so glad I've gotten to that point, just to have to turn around and do it all over again. I mean, have we not progressed at all? Are people still that backwards thinking that, And I don't think that they're that stupid. I honestly don't. I mean, I think that judge has prejudice, and that was undeserved. He didn't need to outright start yelling and threatening me with months of prison time and telling me how to run my life, and saying that he's seen things he doesn't like, which doesn't really matter because it's not his voice or opinion or understanding or way of expressing himself, and it doesn't matter to me what he likes or not. I'm not speaking to him, and it wasn't for him, so he has no right to judge it. It just makes me so angry that I've been put in this situation again, so angry to have to defend myself again from just lies and bitchiness and stupid people that are just and I'm not calling them, like I just said, I don't think that they're stupid. I think there's more to it, because it's so obvious that I'm not guilty, and so obvious of a misunderstanding in different aspects, and combined with just a million different, it's just so obviously just not even close to a crime, and yet I'm being treated as outright, without even being considered innocent until proven guilty of something so stupid, started being yelled at and threatened with. And I can tell you, as someone who picks up energy just like a freaking sponge, I mean, it was hell, and I didn't have my medicine, and you can die from that, not having it, and panic attacks and claustrophobia, and put in one light in a dark cell all the way in the back of the prison, and starving and just in shock from everything that had happened. And what the fuck? I'm sorry, I was just it was kind of traumatic to me, because I'm there I thought worst case scenario, he would say, just come out and be really mean and say, just go home or something. And I was so shocked, and continue to be in shock, I think, until I, drove past him that day and saw him, and I'm and he acted like nothing. I'm just so confused, and would just okay, if this involves you, just tell me where you're coming from, so we can just get it straight and clear, and there's no confusion. And when there's no confusion, I don't see why people can't get along and resolve things amicably. I'm the only one that seems to be trying to do that, and am fighting for myself, is obviously I don't want to be prejudged, as I've already been, and put in jail. And it goes against everything. I don't deserve it, for one. It would be hell for me, for energy wise, and without everything that I need and throughout the day. And blocking all these things for other people that I do, and prevention of terrorist attacks, and taking me away from my one like ray of light, which is my little cute like savior of a kitten. Like he's like, yeah, I don't want to leave him alone either, and I didn't do anything wrong. And had I done something wrong, they could have said that. Not they, because I wasn't talking to her. She is not involved. You know, they're not a married fucking couple. I'm sorry. Like, he's an independent person. He is his own person. Like, why would I even consider for a second that she was talking as him, as a couple? Like, I just have a much more independent viewpoint than that. And I wouldn't dare speak for someone else. And how would I know if he was like, had said, was there with her, you know, while they wrote it? And that just said, I'm like, I'm not talking to you. I'm trying to reach out to this person. And so he could have just said something, and then I'd be done. No need to put someone through humiliation and a torture cell, literally. My back went out, handcuffed, treated like, I don't know, like, I'm still in shock, because I'm like, what was it? Even if it was something horrible, like you thought I was some drug dealer and it was a sting operation, like, it'd be great if you could just tell me that was in fact the case, because I am really like struggling with the fact that, like, I never thought I would get arrested for anything, like, let alone subjected to all this, and the possibility of ruining my future with jail time because what? You didn't like something I said, and that's your preference and that's your opinion? Well, I don't like a lot of shit you did either. Did I throw you in jail? Did I condemn you? Did I give you the cold shoulder, the silent treatment? Did I take you to court, trial, put you through humiliation, anxiety, panic, nearly dying 3 times? Did I fuck with your car? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just baffled at the level of the audacity, the self-righteousness, because I'm like, no, I've not done any of those things. Those are things that you did to me. And also with between you and your girlfriend, these are like, it's like 2 against 1, just creepy harassment, and I'm just don't understand it. And am just tired of being like followed and not given any information as to why. What the, you want something from me? Okay, just like tell me. I mean, I'm beyond. It's illogical on every front except for my own reasoning, because I presented as many viewpoints as I can, and I've asked for basically nothing. Basic information, communication. Like, this is not brain surgery. It's just beyond me why people have yet to take any sort of responsibility in that sense of, like, just, like, I mean, I also just feel like it's polite. I don't know, like, I'm just very confused if, like, someone was ardently trying to resolve things and doing what they can to do that, and didn't deserve to have to put that effort and work and time and really heartbreak and pain back into that, and relive some things again, and just be living in worry and like uncertainty and fear sometimes, and for what is it that you want from me? What do you need? Just freaking tell me. Like, I would love to help you if I can, if I have the capacity to, the ability to, the energy to. Goddamn. Like, I mean, I'm just over it. What more do I have to give of everything that I can possibly share with everyone? I mean, and then be punished for basically living my life, for just basically having an opinion, punished for having a difference in opinion, And that's what it is. It's opinion. It's written word. It's not action. It's nothing that is harmful. It's not like email fraud, wire fraud, where I was threatened with the same amount of time as Lori Loughlin, who committed that 4 months, or the guy that posed with an ISIS person and corpse. And I for being flirtatious and trying to reach out to someone, the only person I knew here, like, after giving them space and time, like, I'm just baffled that, like, how could someone come to that conclusion? What person in their right mind could come to that sort of threat or conclusion, and to put someone on edge like this? I mean, maybe that's what he was trying to do, is scare me, but it wasn't even warranted to begin with, because I didn't need that on top of all the fucking stress I'm already under. And if they didn't prejudge me as they did, and as poorly as they did, they would have given me 5 seconds. Had I come in there with, like, mousy brown hair and glasses, and, like, it was just whatever, you know, just, I don't know. I didn't try to dress up or anything, but I'm just, would they have judged me if I wasn't like a and conflated their made up orders as well, which I said in my CV Evil playlist, all by shuffle, to get to the truth and timelines and whatnot. For me, as my defense, what was I gonna say? Yes, I proved myself there as well, and I'm just tired of proving myself against people that have, I mean, it's not my fault that you just don't have more than one view or understanding of ways of saying things, or it's not my fault that you don't like that. How would I know? I don't know your sense of humor. I don't know your tone of voice. I don't know if you're joking. I don't know if you're serious. I don't know if that vibe I picked up on was from you. I don't know anything. I don't know if, like, I cross the line or not when I say something, when you know, and then it's not like you have to take it with a little bit more grain of salt, because it's not necessarily directed singular, like, just at you, you know, like, it's not like we're having a conversation here on when I'm writing and stuff like that. It's just me talking out my thoughts, and I should be allowed to do that, because they're not dangerous. If anything, they help, and it's a really incredible thing that we've created here and built, and just to have all that taken away, and all that, you know, not for nothing, you know, me too, round two, like, start again, defending myself again. And it's like all I do is just stand up for others and myself, and I'm just like, I don't know what you do behind the scenes. I don't know what happens behind the scenes. I can't be expected to, and then be told I'm punished or be ungrateful or something, you know, like, I don't know what people have done, and I don't know, and that makes it really hard for me to gauge the accuracy and the level of what I've done and what I'm I just give up. Like, how hard is it to return a phone call? How hard is it to just, you know, do what someone asks, or repeatedly asks of someone, anyone, information, and just why, you know, like, I need to hear it from other people. I, you know, don't want to just be going along with my own little delusional wave here of positivity, and in reality, you know, because I get no feedback, in a sense, like, no direct feedback, you know, and, like, how can you bring a charge against someone that you haven't first, you know, I went to the police first, and I was brushed away. Like, it's nothing. What they did to me was not even on same level. I mean, they practically just tried to destroy my life, and ruined all my accounts, and possibly relationship, years to rebuild. And with my best friend, I mean, the level of trust, and it doesn't even compare. People gave like kind shout outs and made campaigns or songs that were inspired by my affection for a guy that I wish that I had gotten a chance with and liked. And so I just I never, I didn't even, for the first beginning of it, mention his name. I mean, it's just like, some of this is for me too, I didn't like reach a cap of learning, and now it's all for you, and I'm just like passing it all along, and I don't have any need to learn anything new or experience anything. I don't even get to enjoy the videos anymore. It takes me so long to like find the freaking playlist to add them to. I'm like, a really simple button YouTube would be to just, when you have like 500 plus playlists like me, a search button for the playlist that you want, so that you can reach all of them and not just like the ones that, most recent ones. I spend so long looking for, I miss all the videos, I have to go watch them again, and I mean, just like silly things like that to complain about. But I'm just like, I did start this with like an idea of everyone just really feeling uplifted and creatively inspired and brainstorming together like they did in like, the 60s, 70s, the factory, like Studio 54, like where anyone's accepted and you're there to create and just to make and to create art, and no matter what, and to learn from each other. But you can't do that when I'm inspiring these people that still consider themselves above me on some level, and because they're like celebrity status and I'm not. It goes for all, like everyone, singers and like everyone that has followed this and has turned a deaf ear towards my plea basically for information and help in this case, and clarity and things like that, communication out of isolation, things like that. For every single person has turned a deaf ear, and yeah, I'm just like, well, okay, I guess I've done everything I can do. I've asked as many ways I can think of to ask, and yeah, I can pretend, and we can all just continue to get confused and but I'd rather just know what I'm working with and know what's going on, or know that information's not privy. I'm not privy to that information for some specific reason, and then I can let it go. But otherwise, like, I don't know, it's just kind of, why is everyone on keep a secret from me? Why can't people talk to me? Why is it that my request for that kind of help and information and communication go unanswered? But people continue to make videos and participate in this. I don't want to be used, I'm just kind of like, can you give me some idea of where things are for people, and not expect me to read your mind? I couldn't if I wanted to. God, I mean, is this not case in point? Like, do you think I'd spend years in confusion if I could just read your mind? I think that's the pretty simplest answer, and I'm tired of talking and explaining and considering everyone when I feel like I'm the last person to be considered by everyone. And yeah, like I said, it did begin as something I wanted to do. I was excited to do. It brought about creativity and inspiration for me, and then it just became really big, and now it's about, it's not about that, and or it hasn't been for me for a while, and I'm just kind of like, I feel like I'm missing out on the experience too in the coordination of it all, and that's where I'm like, but maybe that's how other people feel, and I just wouldn't know that. You know, people making the videos or something that I include, and then they just show up magically on my computer notification, you know, and I'm just like, I don't want to believe stupid, you know, like, not that I believe that, I'm just like, anything's possible, though, when you don't get a confirmed yay or nay towards a certain, to one of them. So, and I'm sure millions of people, or not millions, but like people are coming from millions of different points of view, and so it would be impossible for anyone to like get an all-encompassing understanding of, I don't know why anyone would expect that of me, and how they couldn't understand why this would be sort of confusing and maybe a little bit, maybe freak me out a bit, and in some cases bring me down. And I'm just like, I really just, it's not about being right, it's about being able to understand where someone was coming from, and if you can agree with that or not. But yeah, I just feel like I'm not given the same courtesy whatsoever as everyone else. I give everyone as much information as I have, as I feel like I can, and to the degree that I know it, you know. Our knowledge is always evolving, and our minds are always beginning to see things with new light. So I think truth is usually an evolving process as well, unless something, it's a simple fact, you know. But I try to do that, you know. And I'm just kind of like, I ask for answers, I ask for help, I do everything right. Everything that you could possibly read or suggest I've done. I do all the time, like constantly, you know. And now I'm sitting in a parking lot because I can't talk and figure all this out at the same time. I'm too tired. And I also was considerate, trying to spare, quote unquote, Danny from feeling any sort of that same level of confusion and just like, what is going on? I swear that has to do with my life, or that is that on purpose? Is that a coincidence? Like, what's going on? Is this like a joke? Like, enough that happens, you lose your sense of like what's real. Truly, I ask any of you to try it, and then to pursue answers and get none, it's just like maddening. And you're just like, well, fine, fuck it. Then I guess you guys don't get answers. I mean, and then it's like, I really like doing this, and then I know that since people are fucking following me and spying on me and stalking me, they'll be able to find me if I start it somewhere else. And I'm just like, God, I can never get free. Everyone just like wants something from you, and just like, just gonna take it anyways, and if you don't want to give it, and you're just like, I don't know what it is I can do, what else I can do to say, no, you're not just able to just do that. No, people have boundaries, it's true, and you need to respect them. I don't understand why you think that you can take advantage of someone who's 20 million times smarter than you, who's smart enough to figure all this out, and you couldn't. Why the fuck would you take advantage of them? Test me? I think I should be testing you. Clearly my discernment and judgment and foresight and intuition and ability to figure things out on their very own, like literally alone, on their own, with like putting clues together from God knows what, you know, it could mean anything. I think I should be the one passing judgment, and I think I should be the one testing whether people are able to perform to the level that they should qualify for in order to pass judgment on others, in order to arrest others, in order to be considered officers of law. So, I don't know, why don't you all just, you know, take a chill pill and do the right thing. I am not trying to get you. I am just trying to not get killed and trying to figure out why the hell everyone is like obsessed with this, and what I can do to make a freaking living. I'm sorry, like, sorry you like things as they are, and you like that spiritual messages come through, and that you think maybe I shouldn't be, but what, you think the Pope lives on nothing? Like, I won't let people use their, like, logic against me. They're everything is entangled. And it's quantum entanglement. It's not brain surgery. It's just that everything's entangled. So I can't do one without the other industry or whatever, slightly the point, but then people need to be able to cooperate and work with me in order for us all to move forward, not just be benefiting off of me, and vice versa. Like, I just think that, between all of this, I'm just like, no more. I'm just like, I just like shoo the policeman off, whenever I see one pass me by, give me some, just keep going, sir. Nothing to see here. Like, how dare you even look at me? Like, sorry, I'm just like, deign to, like, I don't know, I'm just baffled at the way that people treat each other, especially those that have done nothing wrong and probably deserve a little bit of empathy and sympathy or something, help, consideration too. I mean, everyone's just like grabbing at this, and it's like, this is for me, and this applies to this context, and this is for my speech, and this is for the news, and this is for, okay, sure it is, but it's also for me too, and because it's my life that I'm pulling all these interests and aesthetics and things that I find interesting together. It's my curation, it's my point of view, it's my reality, it's my stories, experiences that I'm extrapolating on. It's not that, it's just, it's more involved than what you would think, and it's, people are attacking me with it. It's about me, and all these, like, ridiculous claims, and I'm like, look, can I do something for myself? Can I just, can you just realize that, like, I also need inspiration and time to take things in, and to relax, and I'm not a robot. I mean, like, I basically work around the clock in terms of, like, terrorist prevention. And I appreciate where people have tried to give some sort of, but again, I'm pretty humble. I wouldn't want to ever assume, that was a direct thing towards me. I just, like, I don't know. Why is it so hard to email? I just don't understand. Why are we, we've proven it can work. You all are in communication, so why don't you just, like, let me in on that sort of, like, what's going on? You all are collaborating, so why am you're part of my thing that I've created here. My codes, my vision, my artistic philosophies and expression, and finding things that represented that, and my birth chart, and just, like, it's my life that I've pulled representation, mimesis of together here in one place. Music, art, everything, film, acting out the energies, and I mean, it's mine, and I don't want it to be taken away, because people are arrogant enough to think that it's all about them and that it's only for them. I'm glad if something fits in your context, but also, like, I think it's a good lesson in that it's not that this is a two-way street. This is not me, like, as some, like, ether teacher, like, talking down to you, giving out, like, bread, I don't know, like, baptizing people. Like, I know I'm the person trying to just connect with other artists. Like, it's not that fucking difficult, and I'm glad that it was able to happen here, but I'm also, like, there's still not that even playing field and that equality if you still see yourself above me and are to, like, too cool, I guess, to, like, want to communicate, and or just, like, I don't know, like, I'm just a person, and I recognize you as that as well. So if you'd like to communicate as two human people, to figure out how we can both help each other and give clarity and information back about your experiences and things like that. Like, I'd be very happy to talk and hear about it. That's all I've wanted, really, you know? I'm grateful for things that people have done that I'm sure I'm unaware of, and this is just too much for me. I'm like between quote unquote Danny and blah and Leo and Camilla, their whole thing, that are just like, again, it's acting it out, it's taking it to a whole nother, like, it's like, do you consider a movie as powerful when it's just given to you script as when it's created in its final cut production? Like, it's done, it's, you see it all pulled together, and someone living it out? No, clearly not. So you know that you took things to a ridiculous, stupid level. And so, like, I'm just like, why am I having to, like, am I that misunderstood, or are you that dumb, or that prideful that you just you know, sometimes we gotta let our pride go. Just let it go and, like, figure out how to just, you know, talk to someone who might seem different than you and have different point of view and might be coming across to you in a unfamiliar way, and just, if that interests you people, as it clearly did, enough for you all to start, like, stalking and following, like, then, you know, I'm very happy to, like, I just don't want to be treated like some animal that you come to see at the zoo and you never talk to because we're different species or something. Like, that's what you treat me like. And I'm just like, I don't know the reason for it. And if it's because of investigations, I don't see why that it would have to be taken to that level. It seems like really high schoolish again. Like, why would you at all care who talked to me? Like, you don't have me actually working for you. You don't have me under contract. You don't have a say. You don't get to dictate anything that happens. You can't keep someone in the dark. I have rights. You know, you can't just infiltrate someone's life for no goddamn reason. So I'd really like some explanation. Especially when there seems to be some interference from this reality and other reality. I'm like, there was a car waiting outside and it waited for me, and then I decided, okay, fine, I'll follow it, until I was following it, and they, like, and I thought it might be someone that I knew, and they're trying to get me somewhere to talk to me. And right as, I mean, I'm like not too close to them, but right as I'm crossing the train tracks, out of nowhere too, like, I mean, I completely froze and I got stuck at the train. I'm like, of course. And then they were gone. And I'm like, who are you waiting outside my house? Like, what is, am I supposed to take that as romantic or not? Because otherwise it's creepy and I'm freaked out. And I'm not, it's not funny anymore. It's not, because I don't know what to think, and that makes me stressed out, and I can't make a decision, and I can't move forward, and you're obstructing my own life. You're making my life difficult. You're having a negative impact on it, truly, at this point. And so, like, just, I don't know. I guess I'm not going to tell you what to do because you're grown-ups. You're adults. I shouldn't have to. But this is ridiculous. And I think that there's just, you know, if there is some reason because of, like, the Justice Department, or, you know, they will have, like, they will feel the wrath of me. It's not even, someone will have to hold me back from killing them for stealing years of my life. Truly, honestly. I never signed up for anything. I'm not under contract. I wasn't given any information. I was asked nothing. I communicated through the TV, as did Trump, which I thought was humorous and ironic at the time, and then it continued and no one ever filled me in. So I'm over it, if you haven't guessed, if you haven't figured that one out. And so I don't know. I don't know why you would have these ridiculous expectations put on someone who is in a completely unfamiliar situation, that's never been in the situation before, and is covering so much that you must recognize what kind of situation this is and how the stress level and why it would be difficult for someone who's not trained or has any help or actual direct input or anything. Like, I'm flattered you have that much confidence in me, but I don't know why, and if you do, then why haven't you said anything? Like, what is your, like, nothing that anyone's done has any logic to it, and I've worked through it, and if I can't make sense of it, then you are insane. So please just, like, I don't know how many more times I can ask. So that's all it is. I hope they drop it. I hope they drop their orders officially, but it won't stop me from moving around my neighborhood as they can. It's based on nothing. And like I said, we were here, my family came here, we started America, we were here before the Trump administration. Clearly this is some sort of divine thing as well, and I think they're a little bit more on my side than they are Trump administration. So what comes down to it, I think that there's more heart and power behind my words than there are for him, as there should be. And with my sound judgment, making sound decisions because you've watched the data plays in accordance to music that helps you meditate and be in a good state of mind when making decisions, and not blow up at people and that don't deserve it. And hopefully that there's some way to move forward, and that I am able to see a clear way forward, because right now I'm just like putting pieces together and just like hoping for the best, and that's on everyone else too. I could do a much better job and be much better and healthy myself if I had peace of mind and whatnot. So that's on you. And I'd like to figure out a way for us all to work together forward and figure out boundaries and things like that. And I'd like for everyone to get along. And you are looking at, as someone seeking resolution for peace. You're looking at someone taking the action of seeking peaceful resolution in these issues of, all of it. So before your very eyes, so, and I don't see anyone else doing that. So when it comes to actual personal issues that they have with me or with business, things like that, making the effort, taking the first step towards that, trying in as many ways as you can think of to come to some sort of resolution where everyone's happy. But I can't do it on my own. It takes two people to make things apologize, and I can say I'm pardoned and I'm right and I'm not guilty, I'm not going to show up to trial, and that would all be true, but it's a little better when both agree. So I just would like everyone to try to be a little bit more understanding and flexible with the differences between us all, and see what you can do to help another person. Okay, bye.